Hey guys, it's Sarah, welcome to Books for Tea, and today we're doing a book haul, and I have so many books here that it's not even funny anymore. I was very fortunate in winning some giveaways and being part of some other cool projects where I basically got a lot of these books, and then I also got sent some by the publisher, so I'm super grateful for that. But I also bought some of them myself. I'm gonna start with the books that I have bought this year for myself. So the first book that I bought was Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore, and I talked about this in my 5-star predictions and 2018 TBR because I think that I'm absolutely gonna love it. I love the cover, I am super excited to read this, and this is a magical realism story about a family that are basically all queer Latina women, and I'm very excited to read it. Next, I have bought Wind Witch by Susan Dennett. I have not read Truth Witch yet, but I do have Truth Witch here. I had this as a traveling book, so I sent it around to a bunch of people and they all wrote their comments on it, and then I bought the second book to do the same thing with, which is why it's not here. I only have the dust jacket here to keep that safe while the book is taking its journey and being read by many different people. As you can see, these covers don't match because they have stopped printing the UK versions with this beautiful font after doing only the first and the second book in a UK edition, which sucks. So I don't have matching covers, which honestly bugs me a little bit. But yeah, I bought Wind Witch and I'm excited to start this series sometime. Next we have Hero of the Fall by Alvin Hamilton, my most anticipated release this year. I need to read it so badly. It's definitely one of the next books I'm gonna get to. If you don't know, Rebel of the Sands is one of my favorite series of all time and you need to read it, and I can't wait to read this third and final book in the series, but I'm also really scared and I don't want it to end, so yeah, I'm very conflicted when it comes to this book, but it's gonna be so good, I just know it. Next on, I bought the ABCs of LGBT Plus by Ash Hardell, but Ash Hardell is a really amazing LGBT plus non-binary YouTuber, and I love their channel so much, and I had to get this book. I'm very excited to read it. It's basically explaining all kinds of identities that fall under the LGBT plus term, and I'm very excited to learn more about that topic, and also a lot of my favorite queer YouTubers are in this, so I'm very excited to read it. And can I just say that Ash followed me on Instagram the other day and I'm not over that. I am like freaked out because they are like my favorite YouTuber ever and they only follow like under 700 people, and now I'm one of them, and like I'm shook, you guys. I'm absolutely shook. The next book that I got is actually another YouTuber book, and that is Secrets for the Mad by Dodie, a YouTuber and also a musician. She does really beautiful songs, and in this book she basically gives a lot of advice and talks about her life, and she has depersonalization disorder, which I hadn't heard about before, and this book was really beautiful. I've already read it and I can't wait to see Dodie in concert. It's gonna be so amazing. Next on, I got Wishes by V.E. Schwab, and I actually read this as a traveling book but wanted to get my own copy. This is about those guys who go to college together and then they find out that there's something like superheroes and they try to become that themselves, but things go very wrong and the friendship turns sour, and basically it's like friends turn to enemies, and it's really cool. It's set like 10 years after they were in college together, but also with intertwining timelines between those two different times. And yeah, it was also really good. I talk more about it in my wrap-up. Next are two books that I've gotten very recently, and I actually got them from a friend who sold them. The first one is Everless by Sarah Holland. This is such a cool cover, and I love how like inside of the hourglass there's this face that I didn't even notice at first, but it's really pretty. And all I know that this is kind of a society where blood is money, time is power, desire is treachery. Welcome to Everless. And I've heard some mixed things about it, but also some good things. And what I didn't know, but what I'm so excited about, is that this is actually from the Fairy Loot. So my friend included a book plate and the little letter from the author in this, which is super exciting, super special. and I'm very happy that I get to have this beautiful hardcover now. And then I also got another book from her, and that is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I have read that book before, but I didn't own a physical copy, and it was only a free-star book, but I did like some points of it, and I just really wanted to have it in my collection because I think it's really beautiful. Plus I have the Lunar Chronicles series, so I wanted to have more Marissa Meyer on my shelves. I just kind of really like this cover, and I wanted to have it in my collection, so now I do. The next one is actually also a book that I have already read, but I am planning on rereading it, and that is Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I have read that before, but I read this ARC copy that I got forever ago by the lovely people of Rock the Boat UK. This one doesn't have the illustrations, the beautiful artwork by Marie Lu, so obviously I had to get the hardcover for this as well, and I'm also gonna get the hardcover for Obsidio, and then I'm gonna have the beautiful Illuminae files on my shelves. And then I also bought Love, Hate and Other Filters by Samira Ahmed, and I'm so excited to read this. This was also in my 2018 favorite predictions, 5-star predictions, and 2018 TBR video, and that means that I'm so excited for it and think that it's gonna be a new favorite. It's about this girl who has to deal with Islamophobia when the main suspect of a terrorist attack has the same name as her, and she doesn't know whether to move away to college or stay with her family, and yeah, I'm so excited to read this. So those were all of the books that I bought, and let's get into the books that I was gifted or won in giveaways, and also the books that I got as part of our book box ring. So this is really fun. My friend Cici from Subscription Box Addict actually started a book ring with a couple of German-based booktubers, and I will link all of their channels down below. But we basically sent around a big box of books, and Cici started by putting books in there that she doesn't want anymore, and then Sophie got the box and she got to pick out books that she wanted from that, and instead she put some of her books in there, and then she sent it on to me, and now I'm doing the same thing. I can't show you what books I'm getting rid of because that would spoil a box for the other people, but I can show you what I got out of the box, and I'm very excited for it. So I actually picked out 3 books from the box, and the first one is this beautiful edition of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. It's absolutely stunning. I'm in love with it. I love that it's so short as well, and I'm so happy to add this to my collection. It's a penguin edition. I don't know which one, but it's really beautiful, and I've been wanting to read The Christmas Carol. I've watched movie adaptations of it, and I actually read a retelling before last Christmas, which was The Afterlife of Holly Chase, and I didn't really like that, but I do want to read the original, and yeah, I'm excited to have it in my possession now. The next book that I got from the book box was Legend by Marie Lu, and I've been thinking about reading this for a while, but I was never really sure. So when I got the box, I read the first 1 or 2 chapters, and I love it. It's really cool. It's a dystopian, I guess, or kind of a sci-fi because it's set in the future as well. In the first chapter, we already know that there's like a regime going on that kind of controls what people are supposed to think and supposed to believe, and that there's a test that you take that decides whether you're worthy to be a member of society. And the blurb also said that this is about this boy called Day and a girl called June, and Day killed June's brother, and now she's trying to seek revenge. And I think they meet without knowing that he's her brother's killer. And I don't know, I just really like the first chapter. It feels like a very fast read, and I'm excited to get into it. And then the third and final book from the book box is There Are Mighty Things by Heather Kaczynski. And this sounds really cool as well. I know that it's about a girl who works at NASA as an intern, but it's also set in the future, and they're planning on sending people to space, and this girl Cassie is one of the ones who is allowed to compete because her parents actually had her genes altered so that she would be stronger and smarter and faster than humanly possible. And I read the first chapter and was very intrigued with this, plus I love the cover for some reason, and yeah, very excited to get into this. The next 2 books are actually also from Cici because I won her giveaway, and I will link that unboxing of that beautiful giveaway box down below. But the 2 books that I got from her were Rabenaas by Sarah Adler, and this is a German book, and this follows a bunch of misfits who are all kind of mythical creatures, and they are going on a quest together. And I'm not really sure if I like this. It has a very poor rating on Goodreads, and I've read the first 2 chapters and it's interesting. Plus there's a queer character right in the beginning, so I'm happy. But I'm gonna have to see if I will continue this. And then the other book that I got, which I'm very excited for, is Here We Are Now by Jasmine Vega. I really liked My Heart and Other Black Holes by this author, and I only know that this is about a girl who meets her father for the first time because she's never really had anything to do with him, and they are trying to figure out the whole situation. And I'm excited to read it whenever I'm gonna be in a big contemporary mood again. The next 3 books are books that I won in a giveaway on Instagram from Bookish May. As I said, it was a very lucky year for me so far, and she actually sent me 3 books, which I'm so happy about. And the first one was The Queen of Blood by Sarah Beth Durst. I know next to nothing about this, but it's a high fantasy book, and I'm not really sure if it's my cup of tea. I do think that it's a really cool thing to receive in a giveaway. Then the book that I actually entered the giveaway for is Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh. This was before my reread of The Wrath and the Dawn, where I decided that I really didn't like it, so I entered this thinking that I loved Renee Ahdieh, whereas now I feel very conflicted about her. I know that it was compared to Mulan and has to do with samurai, and I'm excited to get into it and see how I will like this. And then in her giveaway I also got Six of Crows by Lee Verdugo. As you know, one of my favorite books. This is a paperback edition. I have the beautiful hardcovers, and I would probably actually be passing this one on to a friend because I'm always trying to get my friends to read Six of Crows because it's my favorite book, so this is absolutely perfect for that cause. And then finally we have Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. Never really read poetry, but I've heard so many good things about it. And it's of course gonna be a very short read. My sister got this as a present from a friend who was here to visit us, and my sister said that she doesn't read so I can have it, so now I've just put it into my possession and it's part of this book haul because it's officially mine now. I'm very excited to finally have this and to hopefully read it soon. There's still more books, you guys. I'm sorry this is so long. But let's get into the books that I was fortunate enough to get sent by publishers. And if you're ever wondering why I get books sent by publishers even though my booktube channel isn't that big, it's because in Germany publishers work with smaller channels as well, and mainly because I have a pretty big Bookstagram account. It's always linked down in the description as well. First we have here Amani, Rebellin des Sandes by Alvin Hamilton. So this is Rebel of the Sands, the first book in the series, which is out in German paperback now, and I got this in order to promote the German release, and I'm very excited. I actually also really like this cover, and I might actually pass this one on to a German-speaking friend because, as I said before, one of my favorite series, I want everyone to read it. Then I got Dreamkeeper by Joyce Winter, and I don't know too much about this, but I know that it's about a kind of dream academy that actually tries to protect people, but then someone apparently gets lost inside the dream world and they have to try to get them back out, and I really like the concept of it. So thanks a lot to the Oettinger Verlag for sending me this. Then also from the German publisher I got Die Stadt der träumenden Bücher Teil 2, Die Katakomben by Walter Mörs and Florian Wiege. I've already talked about this in my January wrap-up and my January mini book reviews. This is the second part in a graphic novel adaptation of this book called The City of Dreaming Books by Walter Mörs, and they have adapted the fantasy novel into a graphic novel with the author actually writing all of the dialogues, and it's really good. I love it a lot, and I can definitely recommend City of Dreaming Books to everyone, even English-speaking people, because it has been translated, and I can recommend the German graphic novels to everyone who speaks German because they are really good and really easy and fun to read. And then I also got The Light We Lost by Jill Santapolo, the German version by the Heine Verlag. And this is a beautiful love story about those two people who meet on 9/11 and kind of have a one-day romance, and then they lose contact but meet each other again after college, and they have a really intense romance that doesn't end too well. And we follow Lucy as she tries to move on from the heartbreak, and we see her move in her entire adult life and see everything that her life brings, but she still keeps being connected with her first love, with Gabe. And it's super heartbreaking, super sad, but also really good, and I loved it a lot, and I'm so happy that I got this for review and was allowed to reread it early for the German release. And yeah, it was a 5 out of 5 star book and one of the best books that I've read so far this year. And then I also got book mail from Penguin Random House International, which makes me extra happy. And I got The Beauty That Remains by Ashley Woodfolk, another one of my favorite books this year. This is about 3 different teens who have all lost someone they're very close to. One of them has lost her twin sister, one has lost an ex-boyfriend, and one has lost her best friend. And they each deal with that grief, and they are all connected through music and through that one band that some of the people in here used to have together. And it's beautiful, it's really heartbreaking, but really good, and I absolutely loved it. That's it for the book haul. I think we're through all the books. There were so many. I don't even know how I always managed to acquire that many books. Kind of ridiculous, but what can you do? I think on BookTube most of us have that problem, and I mean, it's a nice problem to have too many books to read, but I still need to limit my book buying and actually get on reading books that are on my TBR. Anyway, let me know if you have read any of the books that I have talked about in this video, and if you enjoyed them. Let me know if you have a book buying problem or a way too big TBR as well. And thanks so much for watching. I will hopefully see you all again in another video very soon. Goodbye!